Welcome, fans and foes, viewers and haters. I'm your cinema simpleton because these days, even Hollywood can't fool an idiot. Yes, my viewers, it's October, the month of Halloween and the birthday of one drop-dead sexy film critic. And since I love everything to do with costumes and mayhem, I thought why not dedicate the majority of this month to the name of evil. I'm going to start off by doing a top 10 list of my favorite movie supervillains of all time. Why supervillains, you ask? Well, when it comes to the science fiction and fantasy genres, these are always the guys you know you're half rooting for because they're so awesome and cunning. So, let's get it underway. Number 10 goes to the Cobra Commander, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Now, before I get a bajillion hate mail messages, let me reiterate. G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra sucked. Everything about the movie sucked. The very idea that this film would have an actual sequel in the works is so utterly ludicrous that I had a point with this, didn't I? But at the end of that very dark tunnel was Levitt in the role of the Doctor, who by the end of the film becomes the iconic Cobra Commander from the popular G.I. Joe cartoon and toy line. And for anybody who saw the former, I think you know this guy had a lot to work with before we'd sit down in the theater and not turn into a pack of hyenas. Cobra! But Levitt actually pulled the character off with class. He made the voice his own, the origin story was interesting, and by the end, he got a pretty sick costume. This was one pimped out commander. And then they ruined it by dubbing him with Darth Vader's voice box in the last scene. Weak, guys. Pretty weak. But I think I speak for everybody when I say that we wanted to see more of what this guy was capable of, given that he starts out as just another lackey and he earns his scales by the climax. Why this guy won't be in the sequel is a complete mystery, and I guarantee any hardcore Joe fan will be saying the same thing by the time this piece of crap comes out. On to number 9, the Penguin from Batman Returns. To this day, I still struggle to see Danny DeVito being the actor under all that makeup. It's not that I can't see him doing a good villain, it's that the prosthetics are that excellent. The filmmakers turned the Penguin into this sewer rat, or bird I guess, who got booted into the river by his parents, and he just wants to earn respect by becoming Gotham's next mayor. He's also a closet serial killer, but that's just probably because he's in a Tim Burton movie. With this incarnation comes a lot of tragedy, and oddly enough, a lot of fun too. Burton didn't let us down by making him a darker villain, with that green bile oozing out of his mouth and his constant psychological dilemma of wondering whether he's more animal than human. But I think we can agree, for all the interesting stuff they did with the Penguin, also came a lot of weird stuff. The man drives around in a duckmobile, he's always 3 shades of horny, and he's got a Batmobile riding his truck. Moving on to number 8, we've got Whiplash, played by Mickey Rourke. Justin Hammer as Iron Man 2's main villain? No. Not a chance. This man's so pathetic I think he himself knows he's pathetic. That this man could know how to assemble a coffee maker, let alone the War Machine armor, completely baffles my mind. Wow, I'm going on a lot of tangents today. Like I was saying, Whiplash is the sole villain for Iron Man 2, and kind of a cool one at that. Ivan Vanko, as he's primarily called, is about straight-up vengeance against the Stark family and everything it's built. Only after his father's died does he decide to leave Russia and build his own version of the Iron Man suit, equipped with a pair of electric whips that can cut through anything, hence the name Whiplash. Now I admit, when my friends and I heard that he was going to be the villain in the sequel, we thought they might as well cast somebody like Leapfrog or the Penny Plunderer as his sidekick. Woo! He's got whips! Run away! Run away! But of course, come the release date, as usual, I was eating my own words. The writers turned Vanko into a very intriguing character, with his lack of lines and more intelligence to him than you'd assume at first glance. Actually, come to think of it, I think the writers might have done too good of a job at making Vanko realistic. I mean, aside from wanting to kill Tony, there's not much reason for us to hate him. He's more like a character who just needs to blow off some steam. They even give him a parrot that he oodles over. When the man's not strangling Iron Man, he's actually kind of a gentle giant. But the thing about Vanko I love the most is that he's exactly the kind of supervillain I'm looking for. From scene 1, you know he's the bad guy, and he's a force to be reckoned with. But he's also continuously evolving into somebody more dangerous and powerful. To me, that's exactly how to grab an audience's attention. How else can I end it off but, in Mother Russia, Whiplash kills you! Number 7 goes to Loki. Wrong Loki! Now let me start off by saying that when you've got a character who's got giant frickin' horns protruding out of his head, he just might be evil. But with Loki, it's all about the motives and agenda that make him so much fun to watch in the movie Thor. From the start, we know that this guy's got a darker side to him, but it's only when he finds out his whole life is a lie that he decides it's time to take what he wants. But through all his deception, you find out in the end that his cruel methods are done with good intentions in mind. What I think the audience finds so relatable with Loki is that he's always in the shadow of his brother, and that he just wants to win the favor of their father. And when Loki does get power in his hands, he acts like a king. Hey, the guy must be pretty powerful if it's going to take all the Avengers to take him down in the next Marvel movie. Number 6 on my list of supervillains, we've got the Red Skull from Captain America, the First Avenger. First of all, Red Skull's played by Hugo Weaving, who already proved with Agent Smith that he can make any one-dimensional bad guy a pleasure to watch. Second, to all the super geeks out there, tell me that this portrayal isn't everything you wanted to see from the comics and more. I think part of the reason Red Skull's so intimidating here is due to the movie's time period. Since he's using this mystical box as a weapon of unlimited power, and he's in command of a bunch of rogue Nazis, he wages a pretty solid war against the Allies, to the point where I don't think they even care they're fighting Hitler anymore. The thing about Red Skull is that he's so obsessed with believing only he deserves power that he's actually insulted that somebody like Steve Rogers would be given the super soldier serum. That, and there's the fact that the dude just loves looking like a bloody skeleton all the time. He even chucks his latex mask into the fire after he reveals himself. To me, that's just embracing your dark side and saying, I don't care what people think, I'm evil. Don't like it? That's fine, I'll kill ya.